Today we're going to be taking a look at the world's first 4-LED gaming projector from BenQ, and it is their X1300i. What's going on, you guys? This is Tech HD coming at you with a brand new video, and today we're going to be taking a look at BenQ's new gaming projector. This is the X1300i, and it is their first 4-LED projector, and we'll talk more about that and what that means in a minute. And it has a lot of features that benefit any type of gamer. So let's take a look at this, see how it overall performs. But first, quick disclaimer for those of you guys that are new and unaware of this channel. Yes, I am partnered with BenQ, and they did send me this projector to me, but this is all my input and opinion. No money has been exchanged. This video is not sponsored by BenQ, and they don't get to see this video before it's been posted. Just want to let everyone that's new to the channel to know, and I do have some things that I don't like about this projector. But without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to be taking a look at is what it all comes with. So we got the quick start guide, the QS01 HDMI media streaming device to run Android TV, the remote itself, an AC power cable, some batteries for the remote, and the projector itself. On the back we have two HDMI 2.0 ports, the second port supporting ARC, a 12-volt trigger, a USB port, an optical port, an RS-232 port, and an audio out port. Below the ports there are two 5-watt speakers that are powered by Trevolo audio, and below that we have the power port. On the right side we have the power button, an input button, the 5-key navigator, and a back menu and eco blank button. We also have the zoom and focus wheel. Now to install the QS01, you'll need to unscrew the top cover of the projector, open the top, and you'll see a third HDMI port, and that is for the QS01. There's also a USB cable to power it, so you just need to plug those two in and you are all set. So now setting up the X1300i was very easy. I replaced the BenQ TH685 DLP gaming projector with it, and right away I noticed it was a much bigger projector. You can use the screw and feed to make sure that everything is leveled, and you of course have the zoom and focus, and you have BenQ's famous 2D keystone for perfect alignment to get rid of that trapezoid effect. After that, you're just setting everything up and logging into Google, and you are all set to game and watch movies and TV shows. Now talking about the specs of the X1300i, it has a resolution of 1080p at 120Hz, it has a 98% Rec 709 color accuracy, it has a brightness of 3000 lumens, it supports HDR10 and HLG, and has an input lag of 8.33 milliseconds at 120Hz using fast mode. Now this is the world's first 4-LED gaming projector, and what that means is that an LED projector has a much wider color range, so you'll get more accurate and saturated colors compared to the lamp-based projectors. They also emit less heat since they are LED, so it's much more quieter. There's no warm-up periods when turning on an LED projector, so you'll get that set brightness right in the beginning, and the lifespan of LED is much longer than DLP projectors. Now 4-LED projectors adds the additional blue LED to standard 3-LED, and that increases the green light to about 40%, increasing the overall brightness up to 12%. Paired with BenQ's auto color calibration, you'll get a much more consistent color throughout the lifespan of the LEDs. BenQ has an article all about this that goes way more in depth with it, so I'll have a link down in the description below so that you guys could take a look at it. Now during my testing of the X1300i, I really liked using it for both gaming and watching movies on YouTube. The quality is so good that after a while you honestly forget that you're watching it on a projector because of the colors and how nice and vivid and color accurate that everything is. Everything's true to life, similar to a TV, and the same thing goes with the brightness. It's bright enough that I'm able to use the projector during the day in daylight scenarios, like when my lights are on and when the blinds are open. It's not the best looking, of course, but it's very doable, and I'll show you guys some example footage so that you guys can see it for yourself. I have a window right next to the projector screen, and normally I have it covered up with a blackout curtain, which I highly recommend, but when I want to let in some light and still watch something on the projector, I can. And of course during the night, or when all the lights are off and the blinds are covering the windows, that's when the projector really shines. The way that I have the X1300i set up is you're able to have the projector mounted on the ceiling, which is what I did, and I'll leave a link down in the description below of the ceiling mount that I'm using along with the cables and the projector screen, and I have that casting onto my 100-inch projector screen, and everything looks great. I also use BenQ's 2D keystone to make sure that everything is in perfect alignment, since I believe that my wall or the way that the projector is set up isn't perfectly straight, but the 2D keystone helps out with that. Now the major question is, how does this projector work for gaming? And my answer is somewhat good. I set up my original Xbox One and PS4 along with my Nintendo Switch sometimes and the PS5 and Xbox Series X sometimes to test out the 120Hz option. The colors and contrast and resolution is overall amazing, and comparing it to my 4K Sony TV and gaming monitors, it performs really well. 1080p is good enough for most gaming on the projector. Most gamers prefer a higher refresh rate than resolution anyway, and that's why they prefer playing on a 1080p screen, but up to 240Hz. Looking at the screen up close, you're able to notice a little bit of resolution and individual pixels, but this is a projector and no one's going to be gaming or watching a movie that up close, so in a normal scenario, you can't notice it at all, like I said, and it still looks sharp and overall detail for 1080p. I love the colors of the projector, and having it be 98% Rec. 709 color accurate along with supporting HDR10, playing story-based games like God of War, Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is amazing, and the contrast and colors look great. Also, playing fast-paced games like Call of Duty is really good. Playing at 120Hz at a 8.3 millisecond response time is great, and I didn't notice any sort of latency when moving on my controller to the reaction time on the screen, so it didn't mess up my performance and being quick in any kind of FPS games. This projector also has different game modes. You have FPS modes to provide you with a really low latency and enhanced details like in the shadows and the audio like gunshots, explosions, and footsteps. There's RPG mode, which brings the detail and brings the bass of the audio to really immerse you into those story-based games. And finally, there's SPG mode for vibrant colors and enhancing the vocals of announcers. Perfect for sports games, which I don't do much of, but I did try it out for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on the Switch, and it worked great for that as well. Now, speaking of the audio, this projector is paired with two 5-watt Trevolo stereo speakers on the back, so let's take a listen and hear how it performs.
What have you done? Why did you do that?
I saved you! You were trapped in there! I waited, but you wouldn't come out! So I pulled you out!
Boy, I was gone only... moments.
No! You've been gone a long time!
So let's take a look at what comes inside the box. You get the quick start guide, a USB-C to USB-A cable, a boom arm adapter, and the Wave 3 microphone. I also purchased the add-on pop filter and shock mount, and taking a look at that, the build quality of the shock mount is very nice and metal. The pop filter on the other hand is mainly plastic, but it still feels sturdy, and I really like the dual layer mesh used. Taking a look at the Wave 3 microphone, the build quality is decent. I would expect more metal, and having it weigh more, it's mainly plastic, and for having it cost $160.
By my side. You better watch out, 'cause it's my time. That's not going to happen. You can't outrun who you really are.
So I personally liked how the built-in speakers sounded, and it really depends on where the projector is located. For me, it's mounted on the ceiling a little bit in front of me, so the speakers are hitting directly at me, and that's the best way. If the projector is behind you, then that's where you start to hear it lacking a little bit, but I liked how it overall sounded, and it was very doable. The major thing that it lacks bass, and that's where you have an optical port, and HDMI 2 supports ARC for you to connect to a soundbar or a receiver. Now, like every product in this world, this isn't perfect sadly, and there are some issues that this projector has right now. One of that being that this projector is powered by Android TV, and it works great for stuff like YouTube and Disney+, but it's not fully compatible with Netflix right now. I'm not sure why, and I've been having this projector for 3 months now, so I thought that they would have already come out with an update by now, but they still haven't. Not only that, but Hulu isn't fully working either. It would play the movie or show, but then it'll constantly freeze every few seconds, but the audio would continue playing. This issue I know has nothing to do with my internet because this doesn't happen with YouTube, Disney+, and HBO Max, only Hulu. So until that's fixed, I suggest getting an Amazon Fire Stick or a Roku stick to be able to use Netflix and Hulu on this projector. Now the other con, and this is mainly towards gaming, the Game Maestro doesn't fully work properly. If you enable fast mode and you have the console set to play at 1080p at 120Hz while using BenQ's 2D Keystone, it'll start to glitch and stutter the screen. If you want to play at 120Hz, then you'll either need to disable fast mode, and the problem with that is that it'll increase the response time to be about 24 milliseconds, and that makes it much harder to play with fast-paced games like Call of Duty, for example. Or you could disable the BenQ 2D Keystone and that'll fix the issue, but if your screen or projector is at an angle, it'll be over the projector screen and not properly aligned. The other way is to play at 60Hz and you'll still be able to play at 8.3 millisecond response time and the ability to have the 2D Keystone enabled, but that also defeats the purpose of getting this projector in the first place, since that's what's mainly advertised. All of these ways to fix it has drawbacks until BenQ comes out with a firmware update. The last con that I have is when I'm using the 2D Keystone, I still see a little fainted black line of the original on both the bottom and on the sides. It's not noticeable during the day, but at night or in the dark, which is when this projector is mainly going to be used most of the time, it very much is, and it doesn't look good because of the line is also slanted, which is why you use the Keystone to fix it in the first place, but it's still visible. Now here's a bit of good news. This is all software issues, and I've been speaking with BenQ for months about the problems, and so they are aware of all of it now, and they have told me some of these things. We are trying to get the license plate from Netflix for people to watch on an ATV like on the X1300i. For Hulu, it seems like the issue is coming from the app itself, so they would need to come out with an update to fix it. We might not be able to solve the issue from our end. For the Keystone and fast mode issues, we're currently trying to come out with a firmware update to fix these issues. And for the fainted black lines, I suggested to add a crop feature to be able to crop the top, bottom, left, and right. And they said that they will look into that to see if they can implement that in a future firmware update. So they are aware of all the issues that I mentioned, and they are looking on how to fix it. So that is a plus. But if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know down in the comments below. I will let BenQ know about it. So my overall thoughts on the X1300i is I like what it has to offer, but I can't fully recommend it as of right now. There is nothing wrong with the color accuracy and resolution. I love the technology of the 4 LED and the 98% color accuracy. It all looks amazing. But having there be a lot of issues with the UI of Android TV and the gaming part for this projector costing $1,300, I just can't really recommend it right now. Once everything is solved and works and how it's supposed to, then this is a great projector for both gaming and entertainment. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I would love to know you guys' inputs, if those cons are a letdown or if you would still buy it. But there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Everything will be linked down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so that you guys can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Follow me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. As always, TechHD. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!